If you hold out your thumb and raise it up, you'll notice that you can block out the whole sun. The same is true of our life. We can focus on something small and completely overlook the bigger picture. When we don't know how to deal with our thoughts, it can be very easy to fall into the trap of negative thinking. In this lesson, we're going to be exploring what are negative thoughts? How do negative thoughts impact us? And what are some healthy habits that can help improve our mindset? What are negative thoughts? It's generally described as a pattern of negatively thinking about yourself and your surroundings. Some examples of negative thoughts include being self-defeating, where you are critical or loathing of yourself; having paranoia, when you assume that everyone around you is judging you; regret of the past, or being unhappy about your present situation; being worried, stressed, or overthinking about the future; having obsessions such as lust, cravings, addictions; self-pity, when you feel that nobody cares about you; having a pessimistic outlook, when you assume the worst for the future or you focus on the negative in every situation. Everyone has these thoughts, but sometimes we can be overly focused on them for long periods of time. So why are these a problem? Why do we need to control negative thoughts? The wisdom teaches us that negative thoughts may have a harmful impact on us. It reminds me of the story of a young couple that moved into a new house, and every day the neighbor would hang the washed clothes out to dry, and the wife would comment on how dirty the clothes were. She would say things like, perhaps she needs some new soap, or she needs to learn how to clean better. And every day the husband would stay quiet. Every morning, the wife would make the same comments. Weeks later, the woman was surprised to see nice clean clothes on the washing line. She said, "Look, she's finally learned how to wash the clothes correctly. I wonder who taught her this?" And the husband smiled and replied, "Well, actually, I woke up early this morning and cleaned our windows." We may think that our negative thoughts are harmless, but your thoughts impact you more than they impact others. Because what you believe is what you receive. The Guru Granth Sahib teaches us, "O mind, whatever you serve will manifest, and so will the consequences that follow. Whatever you plant is what you shall eat. This cannot be disputed." Remember, the seeds you sow are the fruits you grow. If you sow the seeds of judgment, hate, self-doubt, then these are the fruits that you will have to eat. If we do this often, then it starts to increase our ego, our sense of self-importance, and we become bitter, resentful, and argumentative. It's so easy to blame others, but we can't always control them. We can't change what they do. So it's better to focus on how we think and change our own thoughts. I like to think that instead of categorizing our thoughts as positive or negative, why don't we see them as either helpful or unhelpful towards our goal? Think about if you were to train for a marathon. There are certain actions that can be helpful, wearing the right shoes or appropriate clothes according to the weather, having a training or exercise routine, planning our diet and meals to help with our fitness. Now, anything else that we do isn't wrong, but may not be helpful for our goal. So, what is your daily goal in life? It can be something as simple as to be in peace with yourself. And if that is the case, then what thoughts are helpful for this goal and what thoughts are stealing that peace? Let's look at what the Guru's wisdom offers as a solution to negative thoughts. The first is to be selective of your thoughts. Think about a time when you've been in a busy train station. You don't just go and get on the first train that you see. You wait for the right train that gets you to your destination. And if you've ever been at the station and seen someone too close to the track, your mind comes up with all sorts of strange thoughts like, I wonder what would happen if he fell in, or what if I pushed him in? The mind is always thinking these thoughts, and we can't always control which thoughts come and go. But we can decide not to take ownership of these thoughts, not to identify them as my thoughts. It's about being able to recognize the difference between having negative thoughts and engaging in them. The wisdom calls this dhyan, deciding which thoughts to give your attention to. So, what do you do if you find yourself on a negative thought train? Well, you can always decide to jump off the train. Have you ever noticed that when you're in the middle of an argument or you're really angry at someone and either the doorbell rings or the phone rings, you're able to instantly switch off all of those emotions and answer the doorbell with a smile? What that shows is that we have the ability to interrupt those negative thoughts. The second solution that the Guru offers is to change your influences. Our thoughts are usually about things that we've built a connection to or that we're attached to. We rarely think about unrelated things that we have no interest in. But if we understood that thoughts are the outputs, then the inputs are all the things that have influenced us to have those thoughts in the first place. And these can be anything like the people that we follow online, the people in our lives, the programs that we watch, the music that we listen to, and even the news and books that we read. So when you become clear on who you want to be in life, then you start to take control and decide the influences that you have around you. And this is where the wisdom of the Guru comes in. The more time that you spend reading, listening, and learning this wisdom, the more it can start to change and impact the thoughts that you have in your mind. So here's the practice for this lesson. Whenever you notice that your thoughts are becoming negative, take a deep breath in to interrupt that thought. Let go of the words in your head and place your attention on the present moment. Let's take a look at some questions to reflect upon. List some examples in your daily life where you fall into negative thinking. How do these thoughts impact you? What steps can you take to avoid lingering on negative thoughts? What other practices would you find useful to remain peaceful throughout your day? Thoughts are always there, so don't be too harsh on yourself. If you ever find yourself having negative thoughts, remember not to identify them as mine and practice ways to jump off the train of thought. I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.